And we're live. Probably. Hi, good morning. Hey, what's up? Chris Slight, you're already in here. Rickson, good morning. Good morning. I know it seems like I'm getting started late. I woke up extremely early, so I did some errands. It is Chris Slight. It is me. It is I. I am here. I did not think. I just hit the start streaming button and then opened the editor. So, don't really have a good intro here. I also don't remember. Let me think. The last time I streamed was Saturday. I don't remember the state things we were in on Saturday. I don't think I'd started on this stuff yet. No, that was definitely all yesterday. Shit. What was I working on Saturday? Hey, Weez, good morning, man. Shit, man, you've been streaming constantly. Working on the UE4 jam. Yeah, we do a podcast. Though I did notice Chris Light organized his Discord and he put the podcast under Chris's stuff. I thought that was a collaboration, Chris. I'm not gonna take it personally. It's fine, but you know, shit, man. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to recording again, too. Shit, it's still kind of chilly. Hey, Astanox. Yeah. Chris, you do all the work. Fair. That's reasonable. Just don't go cutting me out, man. I like that podcast. I look forward to it every week. Alright. Oh, I can show you some shit I did yesterday. Here, let me do that before, we derail too far. Hey, Karibo. Wow, guys, popping in here fast today. That's why I gotta wake up early. If I get started at, 6 a.m., it's quiet for a while, and I can, ease into the stream. Somebody remind me what I was doing when last we left off, because I don't remember. On Saturday... I know I spent some time, I was in kind of a weird mood on Sunday, so I just went around moving things. Doing general polish that's hard to see. I did an experiment where, if you recall before, this was all just one big record that you were playing on. And what I was doing was, what happens if the record spins? You want to know what happens if the record spins? I'll show you. I can probably get back to that state. Maybe. Spoiler alert. It was really nauseating. I want to share that nausea with you in this moment so we can experience that together. Let's see. Spin the world every tick. Let's see if it just works. I don't remember because I disconnected it and it was this idea is crap. And I did a bunch of other stuff, so this may not work anymore. So let's drop into a combo level. So before, this was just a big ass record. Yeah, buddy. And the world was spinning. Obviously now I've added different elements and I didn't update that. So I guess the curtain is spinning with you. But yeah, that was a terrible idea. It was not pleasant. It made me quite nauseous. So... we decided not to go with that. Turns out playing an entire game on a spinning disc, maybe not the brightest call. So we cut that. I also got rid of the record and I started playing around with a different look. I started adding more lights. I thought maybe we'd lean into that a bit more. Playing with the idea that if the idea is the world is a stage, then this should be the main stage. I do still want a record. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that element in yet, because there's narrative reasons why it needs to be there. But yeah, it's kind of filling out a different silhouette right now. That's where I am. Yeah, this is Unreal. This is UE4. Let me check up with the chat. Hey, Akrasia. Good morning, man. Definitely check out the podcast. We will start... Well, we were on a good cadence where we did it every week for months. And then the holidays hit, and it's been kind of a shit show. see here. I'm gonna go with Kine. I don't have like... You can't trademark something until you're selling something. And I'm not collecting money for this, so I can't trademark Kine. So maybe it'll be taken, maybe it won't. If it is taken by the time I'm like ready to go into early access, then I'll, what do you call it? I'll just I have backup names. So I guess for now it's a code name. It's codenamed Kine. How long have I been working on it? I've been... This specific game... That's a complicated question. I have a hard time answering that question. People ask that a lot too. I should come up with a better answer. Like I feel like I should be prepared for that. This, I don't, like, October maybe? Would be when I got pretty serious about it. No, excuse me, August. Yeah, it's kind of like I was prototyping a bunch of different things. I started a prototype, like, I remember... I mean, I can go through it if you want. It's kind of fun to walk down memory lane sometimes. What do I have? I record everything because I'm a maniac. Now I don't because I'm streaming, but I used to just record myself working. Not me, like the computer. Like what are these? So you can see me working. What was the date? Oh, I don't have the date on this one. This was March 2016. This was some other thing, though. I don't even think this is the same game. Hold on, wait, that was brilliant. Apparently, this stream started out and I was looking at math. That's horrifying. This was not a stream. I went through a phase where anytime I was working, I was recording my desktop because I was making these time-lapse videos. I made one for the boar and the Flame of the Flood that I really liked, of like, where you could see the boar being developed. And I thought, shit, I should make more of those. And so I have like gigs of footage, completely unsorted. Oh shit, yeah, this starts to look like it. So this was the fighting game. This is when I was working on a side-scrolling fighting game. Check that shit out. Yeah, that was, looks like this is the stuff I was trying to do right after the Flame of the Flood shipped. Anyway, yeah, that turned into this. Don't ask how. It's all really confusing. Yeah, thanks for pimping the Discord, Chris. Socket? Did you change the color for that? What? I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a skeletal mesh with a shader on it that I was changing the color of. The initial version of this game was a combat game. I think so I was doing various prototypes to pitch stuff at work. We were all pitching stuff. And the idea at the time was we thought it was really important to have a multiplayer game, specifically a competitive multiplayer game. So I started out with like, all of my pitches involved these little robots. And in the end, they were like, Gwen, you gotta stop. Nobody likes little robots. That was actually one of the things that bothered me. Forrest said, people don't connect with robots. And if you look at things like Overwatch, people feel this really strong connection to the characters. People can cosplay as them. Whereas you can't cosplay as like a little cube, Gwen. And I was like, that's bullshit. You totally can. You can totally do it. Fucking Wally exists, man. We had a whole lunch where I was like fighting him about that. Yeah, I don't like Discord. I'm not really big on it. Yeah, it's true. I didn't understand streaming. It took me a long time to get around to that. Oh, there's a million examples of little, like, square machines. In the beginning, they were going to be little computers, I thought. Like, I started out... Oh, God. Do I have more footage? Let me see. So that was when it was a side-scrolling game. There's a folder just called 2016. What even is this? Oh, shit. This was a game where I think I took a car and I skinned it to be a figure skater. Oh, it's too early in that. And you were just ragdolling around. It was not fun. What else did I do? What's in here? Here's videos of me trying to learn how to lift. You don't need to see that. Nobody needs to see that. Oh yeah. This was 7/20/2016. This was the shitty version of this game. At this point you could still, the idea was you would make a robot and you could attach different things to it. So the concept here was like, you could attach an axe to one side and wheels to the other side. Depending on what you had attached, it would do different things. And you could be in this big arena, and your goal was to like push somebody else. Like it was battle bots. It was kind of like this, but it was battle bots. Your goal was to like hit them with the axe or shove the opponent into a thing or something like that. Yeah. So 2016 I worked on it, and then 2017 I fucked around a lot. I was really busy with stuff at work. And then I went back and I took that prototype you just saw and I turned it into this around August last year. You filmed yourself filming how to lift weights and you kept that? No, well, I was filming myself lifting because I wasn't good at lifting. And my coworker's wife is an Olympic-style lifter who's got medals and shit. So, and she teaches CrossFit. So I was filming myself deadlifting because I didn't want to throw out my back. And I was like, is this good form? And basically, no. No, it was not. They were just for her. And for some reason, yeah, I still have that footage because I have everything. Because I never throw anything out. I used to be a film student, so I'm used to just having hard drives of stuff that collects. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't ever one concept. It's not like this was the only thing I was working on. At one point I was really into VR for a bit, and I started a game where you were like, from Gulliver's Travels, where you're like sitting there, and the goal is like have a person sit there, and there's little people crawling on you, and you're like swatting them off, and they dangle on your hand, and you shake them off. Shit. Thought that'd be funny. There was no game there. I just did that for fun. And I didn't even finish it, because I got bored. So really, I didn't even do that. I just had the idea, worked on it for 3 days, and then got bored and walked away. It was a good 3 days, though, so I mean, whatever. But yeah, this is kind. And that's how we got from A to B. I think... what was I doing here? This one I should finish. This has gone too far. The sunk cost fallacy is set in. If I don't ship this, I will eat a bullet. It's just gone on way too long. Oh, Croatia, it's always like that. And it all comes back, too. You'd be surprised. Everything... Like I said, this game... The reason I resurrected it so fast was because I had that game I'd, like, been messing around with back in 2016, right? If you're always just doing things and you're keeping creatively energized and you're just... how do I explain it? I can't think of anything that's ever truly been lost work. All of it wraps back around eventually, so far. Like, eventually. Or at least you learn stuff. Or at least you have fun. Who cares? Yeah, and that's fun. And if nothing else, you get to talk about it. Which is good. You get to go to other people who are also working on things and be like, yo, I did this shit in Unreal. And they'll be like, what? I tried the same thing. It totally didn't work. I will say the vehicle system in Unreal is, like, way too intense. I wasn't ready for that. Because I thought it'd be really easy to take... I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a vehicle and I'm going to skin a figure skater to it and it'll all work out. But Unreal actually has, like, the physics built in for the car. Like, is if it assumes if you make a vehicle game, like if you start with that blueprint, it's assuming you want to make, like, a racing game with, like, tires that have friction and pistons and shit. And I was just like, okay, no, never mind. Have you experienced a project failing where sunk cost fallacy had set in? I mean, I've worked on stuff that hasn't shipped. Sure. I've also... I mean, even at work, we started a game, scrapped it. Like, we honestly believed we were working on a game, for... 6 or 7 months, I think. And then we scrapped that game. Completely. Went with a totally different direction. Yeah, I can't say anything about it too. Because now if I say anything, you'll know. It'll give away either what we scrapped. I don't care, I can tell you what we scrapped, but then you'll know what we aren't working on right now. Be careful. Can't give away anything about what I'm doing at work. That's a good example of the sunk cost fallacy. I mean, for that, you have to have a burn rate that's pretty high. Most of the time, the sunk cost fallacy doesn't happen in AAA because the most expensive part of a game is the marketing part at the very end. And nobody's gonna be like, hey, so you don't have this like, we put in most of the money, guess we better ship it. No, it's more like, hey, we're about to take the amount of money we put into this and triple it. So in AAA, you actually don't get the sunk cost fallacy as much. You do get the game that's killed by shipping it, where somebody did the math and they thought, okay, we could work on this more and make it a better game, but that'll be a great deal of money, and we don't know for sure that it'll be good. Or we could ship it now, recoup about this much, and we're pretty sure we could hit that. So you kind of get that, which is not really sunk cost. It's kind of like a different thing. I don't know how you keep it together, to be honest. Like, if I got my start working alone, just doing this, like, I don't know if I would find the, I don't want to call it motivation. It's just, when you start out, you make so many mistakes, and that can be extremely disheartening. And it's a lot better to make those mistakes on somebody else's dime, you know? Like, around other people. It's just better. And so to, like, start out alone and make all those mistakes that you're inevitably going to make alone, where you have to deal with it, I don't know how you do it. It's impressive. I think your story in general is impressive, actually. I like that you still work at the bakery. That's cool. How did the game jam go? I watched the Unreal streams, so are they gonna, like, stream your game? Whatever you were working on for the Winter Jam? Yeah, I don't think there's much work where you live. Ways. It's hard if you're not American. It's hard if you are American. It's hard if you're not literally in California or Seattle or Austin. I've been working on a webcomic for like 10 years, and just last month both me and the writer decided to put it on the shelf. Could call that sunk cost, considering it never got good readership or paid off really. It's good practice work, but continuing to put in so much just to finish the story when it was burning us both out was not worth it. Good on you, man. You made the call. I know that hurts, but it's cool. It's cool to just keep something consistently going like that, too. The game jam went well. Gameplay-wise, it's not the best, but I'm kind of happy with the aesthetic, and I'm surprised we were able to get the game under 100 megabytes. Cool. I saw some of it. It was like a platforming kind of game, where you, like, I don't know. I listen to people. I don't usually watch the streams. You packaged an empty project and it was 260 megabytes, but the final game is 84 megabytes. How? Did you get rid of the starter content? Hey, what's up, Tom? Apparently we're just chilling this morning, you know? Fuck it. How's your day going, Tom? This is a chill stream now. Change this to IRL. The empty project without starter content or wait, so then how did you get it? How did you save 160 megabytes? Going from nothing to something. I believe you, I just don't get it. I want to know your secret. That's cool, Kariba. Sweet, man. Yeah, I do stream stuff here. Dave's streams, I'll warn you, like, Dave's streams are, like, good for the planet. Like, he's an incredible animator that's teaching people to animate. I just, you know, this is full random. I usually hang out, pick at this indie game I'm working on, do almost no actual animation. But yeah, I'm here right now at work. Cool. Yeah, curry bro. That's my shit too. I love having background noise when I work. Pump up Khalid. Alright, so what you did was delete every plugin. Ooh. I don't think I'm concerned about file size, but that's good to know. Packaging for 32-bit instead of 64-bit. You should definitely do a write-up, and then I'll tweet about it, and I'll harass people to tweet about it, and then we'll, I don't know, like, put it on Gamasutra or some shit. Or, like, you learned stuff. You should share that with the world in a way that gets people to follow you on Twitter. I'm pretty sure that's how marketing works, Weez. I'm not, like, 100%, but I'm, like, 2% sure. If it's not too much effort to write up what you did to remove 160 megabytes, I think some people would appreciate that. Alright, I guess we could work. Oh, it's good. If my chat ever gets actually full, I'll never get anything done. Which will make this more fun for me, but probably less good for the, you know, game. What was I doing last night? You didn't use a single texture? All materials? Flat shaded or just... No, it wasn't, if I recall. So yeah, just flat colors in the material. Groovy. Later, Acrasia. Oh, you can't hear me. Ha! We can talk shit about Acrasia. They can't hear. Oh, have you guys heard the music yet? Here. Let's do this. I think. It's still creating the lights randomly. Someday the chase lighting will all make sense. I added more chase lights last night. I do remember doing that. I should keep going with that. I should endeavor to finish that, but that might give away... Like, this is the first... slightly over a third of the game right here. I don't want to give it all away. we'll think about it. So, alright, so I was here. Now we're here. I guess I do like the lights. I had the curtain at the last second last night. I was like, maybe curtain. From this camera view, you can't really. Yeah, I don't know if I would go with exactly this curtain. Like this is, I threw that in thinking like a stage. In reality, it should be more like if this was a festival. This wouldn't be like this. Oh shit, I haven't kind of started this stream real raw. I didn't log into Perforce yet. Let's grab a plane of some sort here. Just start. No. Several ideas already. Like, what if this was like this? I don't like. See, I like the way this feels in 3D, kind of like a shape like this, but I don't like in the main menu it looks weird. The silhouette just doesn't look right. Okay. What it should do. Oh, see, I instantly like that silhouette better, right? I do still want the speakers, maybe. Maybe they're attached in the back. For fuck's sake. I like this when you're up here, though. Is there a way to capture that? Glad you like it, Tom. We will get there. If I'm approaching this all wrong, what if this entire element should be back? At some point, it doesn't feel like you're on the stage, though. Like you need something. I don't really have a good way to select all these that I know of. selection set of some sort. Let's try that again. Once I figure out the shape, we'll munch this all down to one static mesh. This will not remain this insane. Where's that actor? Of course, duping doesn't work. Did I confuse my right and left? Oh, well, no, because it depends on which direction you're looking from. How do things work? Hey, like Kylo, what's up, man? Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's a good day. Getting stuff done. Building a stage today for my little machines to play on. They need a good stage. They deserve it. They've been through a lot. They haven't. But you know. Everybody deserves nice things. Stage rigging. Right, I can't do that. That's the point. Stage rigging. Okay. It's close. like that significantly less. We need to be able to move this around more easily, so we're going to do the same thing I just did. Let's rename this. That is technically stage left. Stage rigging. Left. Back. Right. No, this would be stage left and stage right. God. Real good at stuff, guys. They call it stage left and stage right, if I recall, because that's what your view when you're looking out from the stage. Whereas this would be called something else. course. Attach to. thousand. is casting shadows. Oh yeah, it's temporary. That's fine. It's a temp mesh. Oh, I was thinking about it like Kylo. I want the lights in the background to kind of be blue. Um, I do have plans for the lighting. I have a lot of plans for the lighting. I used to work in theater lighting. So, there's a couple different things we can try. I definitely need this area to look way more brightly lit, especially when it's like main stage time. Like this looks, the whole game looks a bit too dark right now. You need to have like bright god rays on you right here. Maybe we'll hang some light from this rigging when this rigging's more finalized and stuff. Also, I'm not sure, there's a lot of unknowns right now. Like I don't mind this art treatment for the rest of the world, but I don't think it works for this stage. I don't know, that was kind of an accident, but I do like the shape. There's a couple different things I'm thinking right now, like obviously it has to look really good from this because this is the main menu. When you go into the game, I don't feel a separation between the level and this now. Maybe I need to push it further out. I don't want you to feel like you should be able to push off of it. Maybe you could in some levels, but I feel like this should move back more. That's gonna be a massive pain in the ass. I don't know if I could do that. God damn it, that would be a huge pain in the ass. But it might have to happen. You know what might be a fun experiment? Hold on. This could go off the rails. I'm gonna save everything. What? World rotation. Hey, I see what's up, man. It goes well. I don't know if this will work at all. Let's find out. Probably not, but you know. Hey, it doesn't. Okay. Actually, leave that. What the shit? Hey Beardless, what's up, man? I like how you rated me and Twitch was immediately like, yo, if this guy is trouble, you can moderate the chat, just heads up. Okay, let's see how our test is going here. Oh, you're making slow progress on your new game. Good thing I don't have a deadline to meet. You go through different phases. We have pizza, not trouble. Cool. Thanks for joining. I might have just broken everything. Let's find out. No, instead I did nothing. Oh wait, I didn't activate it yet. Let's see. That does nothing. Why not? Come on. Well, yeah, because it's got to go every tick, right? Idiot. What are we doing here? The node that blocks you. Gate. Start closed. This opens it. Set in the late 80s. Throwing it back. It's not that everything's broken. It's just that the game's ugly and I'm embarrassed. So I feel like I compulsively have to say that and apologize. And then be like, it'll get better, I swear. It's actually really unnerving showing a game this early. I have to admit, it takes like years out of your life. Well, yeah, like this isn't good. None of this is good. Alright. Ooh. Did I break everything? Oh, I did. Oh my god. It's broken in a fun way, though. That's kind of neat. Okay. Let's see. Let's make less shit. Alright, so when I do test... I want you to do this. I want you to take this. Can't add rotators. What do they call it? Combine. Threw me for a while. Can't just hit the plus sign like everything else. Combine. Rotators. Do that first. Also, set get the. I'm getting camera boom. What am I doing? I have to turn off the lag. Disable camera rotation lag. I made a function for it. Go me. Okay. That's right. I had to do that to fix a bug. Disable. Let me take a look at your art, Beardless Dav. Oh man. That's good though, that's Andy. You got a prototype with something, right? I was showing them my prototype work earlier. Start with cubes. What's the plan today, Rory? I don't know, man. I think we're gonna pursue some excellence, Rory. That's my plan. What's your plan? You do the same? Hey, this is all drawn with a mouse too, Beardless. Don't knock drawing with a mouse. That's how this game is getting made, man. We're in this together. Was there something else I had to do? I think I already did it. Alright, let's see if that did anything. I don't know. This might be fun. Might be shit. About to find out. Right, I have to enable it. Keep forgetting that part. That's jittery as shit. Is there still lag on the camera, maybe? Probably. Also, I'd have to move the new actors into this for it to make sense. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't like anything about it. It's a terrible idea. Next game will have some sort of feature like this, though. Also, I just don't think it's wise to move thousands of actors around you. Yeah, this is a puzzle game, Mon. Should I show people what the game is? I guess I should, huh? It's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kine. Kine is a narrative 3D puzzle game about a trio of machines that dream of being musicians, so they practice music at night. Let me turn on the music. Otherwise, why are we even here? This is all work in progress. This is kind of the menu. This is Rue. I need to remix the sound. This is Quat. Rue's final form. Well, one of her forms. So these are kind of like the intro levels, the first couple. When you get later on, you start doing stuff in the main stage. And that's kind of like what I'm working on now. What is all this gonna look like? So yeah. This is kind. Look at Steam tag good music. Sweet, man. That's what. Good to know. You can thank Mitchell for that. He's done the I haven't had him do anything recently, but yeah, he did all the music. Well, he did the one soundtrack that there is that mixes. We just mix in more instruments as you get through the levels. I'm glad you like it, Quick Flint. Thanks for. And hello again. I wish Mitchell was here. He'd love it if you guys were saying this to him. You should drop him a follow. Let me see where he's on Twitter. Mitchell's cool. He's a, I don't know if he's a recent grad or what his deal is, but he was the first chair trombone in college, and he's like trying to struggle. I don't know if he's struggling. He's working in the indie space, gig to gig right now. What's his website? Does it take forever to think of the puzzle setups for each level? Like each of the little levels? It took, that's a good question. So kind of like, the initial ones I made were mostly crap. It took a while to kind of get into the feel of it. The first ones I made were all for the trombone, actually. Or what became the trombone. The accordion as a concept like came online I think in October, live on stream. I did make all the puzzles off the stream though. How long does it take to make each one? That's hard to say. I don't know. I know I did the vast majority of the levels when I was in Santa Fe on vacation, because it was great. It's like a writer going to the woods or some shit. There was absolutely no distractions. We lost internet for periods. So I just, like, banged out a couple each day. Did you enjoy designing puzzles before working in this game? I've never done it before, so it's hard to say. That's impossible to say. There was no of that. "30 people went there." Here, you can also just follow him on Twitter. He's gonna be doing the music. He did this current soundtrack, which I think is enough to get us to GDC and stuff, because I'm still, like, the level flow is still gonna change a little bit for the narrative reasons. Did I enjoy making puzzles? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's a no. Keeping it simple, Rory. So, the question was, can you make a GDC presentation about Kind specifically? Um, in order to present at GDC, you have to say what you're going to present. You have to pitch them the project in September of like what you're going to talk about, and then give them slides in like October or November. It's easier if you're part of the boot camp, but even then, you have to have your slides done months in advance. Um, so obviously not this year. That's impossible. Also, they mostly want games that have, well, they want games that have shipped. Most of the games that have shipped and done well. So it's highly variable. What would you want me to talk about? Thanks for promoting the Discord. Chris Light. On the ball. Well, I mean, GDC is a for-profit event, right? So yeah, they want... There's a couple things there, too. Like... I honestly haven't gone to many indie talks. I started listening to them on YouTube and stuff. Especially the design talks. When I started making this game, because that's more relevant. But it's not like... Most indie games aren't pushing the boundaries of what a graphics card is capable of, right? There's just a certain reality there that the people who have the most valuable knowledge to share are the people that are very, very specialized, and you don't get a lot of that in the indie space. So I find there's more knowledge to be gleaned by larger companies. And in the indie space, the best indie talks I go to are mostly, here's a way to get away with this cheaper, faster, here's a way to design better, here's a better way to think about things. But for the nuts and bolts talks, like, here is the... Well, I mean, I don't do mocap, but obviously, like, all the best mocaps talks are done by the people that are doing the most bleeding edge mocap. So I kind of understand why a lot of indies don't speak. Also, as a percentage of the industry, it seems like there's a ton of indies if you're on Twitter and stuff, but in reality, like, if you look at the number of people working in the games industry, vastly more people work in AAA. More people work on Destiny, the one franchise, than work easily in Boston as indies, but in, like, sections of America, right? I mean, Destiny alone, I don't know, must employ 200 or 300 developers, right? Across, especially because they have Vicarious Visions working on that as well now. They're just not on Twitter a lot, so you don't hear that. The vast majority of game developers are not working on indie games. Hey, Switchmark, what's up, man? I think the problem is most indie devs aren't successful. There are 40 new games on Steam every day, most of them aren't AAA. Oh, I don't know how you're defining AAA there either, Icy, to be honest. There are. I mean, I love... How do I put it? Part of it might be my interest. I have no interest in going to talk about how to optimize pixel art, for instance. Because it's just not something I personally work in. So maybe I'm personally not that interested in a lot of the indie talks. I understand why GDC does it, though. I understand why there's very few speakers that talk about indie stuff at GDC. I'm trying really hard to buck the trend. Give valuable talks. I try. Because I think the way you do a successful indie talk is to say, hey, here's how you do something that the larger studios are doing, but much faster, better. here's a easier way to scale your studio, that sort of thing. I think there's a lot of knowledge there that's not being shared. And that'd be cool to know. Yeah, Stardew Valley is cool. What's a good example of a talk you'd want to hear from the Stardew Valley guy, though? I mean, I'd love to hear how he fucking kept it together. Solo deving that game for years. That blows me away. Like, I have other projects other than this, right? If I was like, if this was all I had going on and I needed this to succeed, otherwise I don't know, starve, that would suck. Like, if I needed this to make money, I would be in a very different mindset. Step 1, be insane. Yeah, or you, Weeze, Jesus. Teach yourself Unreal, try not to lose your mind, work at a bakery. Which, to be fair, that cheese chocolate bread thing you were talking about the other day was pretty... I was into that. I don't know what that was, but... I don't know how you make cheese and chocolate work together. But I'm excited by the prospect. These are two things I like that I didn't think would work together. We'll see. I'm doing what he is, but planning a shorter time frame. I'm sure the Stardew Valley guy planned a shorter time frame too. Not to discourage you. Go for it. Step 2, beer. Step 1, be insane. Step 2, beer. Alright. Blue cheese and white chocolate sourdough. I don't know, man. I can see it in a fucked up way. I might have to visit. That's an intriguing bread. I watched the documentary Indie Game the Movie, and it was very depressing, even though all the devs ended up famous and rich. Yeah, I should go back and watch that. That's like a really famous movie. I don't know why I never did. Subnautica was meant to be 15 months, but turned into 5 years. Yeah, that's pretty standard. I mean, when I started this, I was like, I wasn't going to stitch together the overworld, and then I was like, yeah, I am. No, I started this knowing full well that I would probably work on this forever. Because I know me. But I convinced myself of the lie. That I wouldn't. And that I would probably be done with this around GDC, which is around when we would get funding for our project to work. And I convinced myself. I was like, yeah, I could do that. I won't, but I could. And I went wrong. Kind of went along those lines. Is there a single developer that doesn't overshoot scope? If you plan on it. I mean, we didn't overshoot on the Flame of the Flood. We did exactly what we said we would do in the time frame we said we would do it. Dev time was, what, 18 months from after we were kickstarted? We've done it. We didn't have a choice. If we had money, maybe we wouldn't have. That's the other side of that, right? Some indie games only take 1 to 3 years, though. So it's not inherent to the dev that... Not every game takes a year, either. Jesus, guys. I don't know where this crept up from. There's a lot of people that make very small games very quickly. Especially in the mobile space. I mean, if you're developing it full-time, if you're funded, you can make games much faster. Bithell does it. You should follow Mike Bithell if you want more information on that. He's got a podcast. He made Thomas Was Alone. He started that out as like a project he did after work. He spun it up into a company. He ships games reasonably quickly, less than a 1-year time frame, very highly rated. Do very small games excite you? I don't know. Well, but small games can be ambitious, Weeze. Weeze is saying he finds it hard to get excited about something that's not ambitious, so small games don't excite him. But a small game can... I mean, what is small? Because small in that it's short in time frame or that it's short to make? I don't know. Well, both are good. I don't necessarily think it's... Like, not every game has to be some fucking 60-hour commitment, right? I actually like some of the games that are shorter. I think you can sell an idea in a very short, fun game and a tight experience. I think Bithell is actually a great example of that. I really like his work. I didn't play Subsurface Circular yet. So, you know, like, disclaimer. I haven't played games in a while. I liked, I mean, I was looking at my playtime for various games and I didn't realize I put something like 20 to 30 hours into Road Not Taken, which is just this stupid grid-based puzzle game. Maybe I do like grid-based puzzle games a lot. But, it's just it's like a little fucking puzzle game, man. It's tightly... It's well designed, it's cute, it's got a decent art style. You can boot it up after work or something and you don't feel like you have to sink into it and spend at least a couple hours. You can just pop in. So I ended up playing it a lot. Yeah, I kind of prefer that sometimes. I mean, you want the games that are escapism too. The ones that you kind of, like, I have a day, I want to really drill down into this, I want to experience and immerse myself in this story, in this world, in this whatever. But that's not everything. Old console games had several hour playthroughs, they just made them incredibly hard. Yeah. Would you say that it is a reflection of the games you play? Do you play any smaller games? Oh, you're talking to Weiss. My bad. Haha. Alright, good. Hit the end of chat. I should probably go back to work. Talk amongst yourselves. We're building a community here, guys. I've read about this on the internet. It's very important. God damn it. You know what else is very important? Not selecting transparent shit. I learned a lot about Weiss today, man. Alright, where are we here? Sorry, I'll turn that off. Oh, it's already off for you. Got it. Yeah, this might look cool. Let's find out. This is almost basically what I want. Oh shit, no, I can't do it here. Hey, middle. it kind of has to be set up like this because you can't put a timeline in a function. Hey, Yerk's group, what's up, man? Shit, sorry. You guys have been flying. Give me a second to test this. And then I'll chat again. Feeling chatty. What that did was nothing. Oh wait, it's looked like it was going to work, but then it didn't. This was not the effect I wanted. Finished. It's clearly doing something. But only on leaving. And that's backwards. So let me look. Are we even hitting this event? No. Okay, well that's a problem. Oh, I see the problem. Maybe. Shit. You can rename events with F2, by the way. Let me play with that. Oh wait, shit, no. Hold on, let me finish this. Combo. Okay. We're hitting this breakpoint. Fuck. see. Why did that go nowhere? Is it hidden behind the cursor? No. Wait, what? Combo 2. I do hit this breakpoint. Current level is already bright, according to you. Well, shit. Well, yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Yeah, if the current level is combo. I guess I can just dupe this. Doesn't feel like the best solution. Okay, we're hitting the break point. Well, it's hitching like mad, and it's breaking everything. So, I guess we're in a better spot, because now things are happening. So... this is happening. Did I fail at making a timeline? That'd do it. It's a weird sequence of events. Also, that's hitchy as hell. Am I moving the point that I'm moving the camera to? I don't think I am. No, I'm not. We're gonna try one more thing, and then we might abandon this. 'Cause it might just be a terrible idea. Let me read the chat real quick. The amount of factors that already go into normal game dev, including those you mentioned, I don't think I'd ever want to build a walking simulator while money was an issue. It's just a whole added level of risk, and it now has me curious as to the decision to pursue making those types of games and the payoff. I mean, it depends. No, that's fine. I prefer walls of text. It's better. It usually means people are thinking through what they're saying. And that's not even really a wall of text. So, this just goes down to risk mitigation. A walking simulator has a great deal of the way they're being made right now involves a lot of content that you can only play through once. So the value proposition there is, like, as a consumer, you only get so many hours of content out of it. You kind of have a price point expectation. But I mean, if you look at a game like, if you look at the current walking simulators, they just require so much content that's being made in 3D that they are expensive to make the way they're being made right now. I don't know if it has to be that way. I think that if you want to make a game that tells a story in a different way, that's possible. I mean, you just gotta think about what you want to do with the game. There's also just the reality that there's inherent risk with everything. I think it's interesting. We've reached a point where this idea that things like walking simulators are not viable, they're really expensive, which has truth to it. And what happens after that is usually people stop making them because there's no incentive to make them. And the few that do get made tend to corner a market that is now niche, right? So there's different ways around that. There's also, I can imagine if there was a story you really wanted to tell, you could probably find a way to tell it with cheaper or less art. If your goal was to have beautiful art, I mean, you could, I don't know. It's hard to say. You kind of have to make that decision. But I mean, all of game dev is risk. And it's not like it's an A or B sort of situation. I've never met somebody who was like, I was thinking about making a walking simulator, but instead I made a racing game because, you know, that's less risky. I don't know anybody that's ever done some shit like that, right? In real life, people make what they're gonna make, what they're good at making. People aren't, and the few times people do pivot to make money, it's, in my experience, I've seen that usually pancakes. Nah, usually that does well, but that does well because if you're really mitigating risk, what you're doing is you're doing something that a venture capitalist or a publisher wants you to do, and your goal is not to get money from the game, your goal is to get money from the publisher or the venture capitalist, which is a different way to run your business that is totally viable. There's very little risk. Like, if publishers right now really want a PUBG clone, and you can be like, yo, dog, we got the team to make the PUBG clone right here. We got what you want. Pay us, quarterly or whatever. And that's how you, that's a very safe way to go. And you can try to make an amazing game within those confines. I'm not going to judge that. That's certainly lower risk. But I don't foresee... I can see innovation in walking simulators, but I don't see the people who are making that suddenly turning around and making a racing game, for instance. It's not even just the game you're passionate about. At some point, it's what you're good at. Like, I couldn't make a 2D pixel art game to save my fucking life. Right? I've spent a decade building up knowledge with Unreal. Well, that's not true. I spent many years building up knowledge with Unreal. Using Unreal is... People ask, why did you choose Unreal over Unity? And I'm like, because then... Like, why wouldn't I? I have experience in this space. I know how to work with it. There would have to be... Unity would have to have something in it that is so compelling that I would be willing to give up years of knowledge to go work in that engine, right? So there's just a lot of different sides to it, right? Trying to think. I don't know many people that are in game development that don't kind of know what they want to make. I mean, you might think that you are, but if I started listing different genres of games, I bet you'd find that you're actually pretty much set on one type, or a handful of types. What do you think hypothetically would be the amount of months for you to learn Unity to a degree you know Unreal? I mean, I don't know how I would quantify that. Like, I'm not sure I'd measure for... my expertise in Unreal versus my expertise in Unity. Would you measure it in being able to do this? Like, how quickly could I rebuild Kine in Unity? I have no idea. I have no idea. The other part of that is, like, I just haven't used Unity enough to form an opinion on it. If Kine was done, that's the other thing. Like, once a game is done and you've solved all the questions, it is way easier to remake it, right? I mean, it's an editor. It's easier to get into initially. It's scalability problems, but those probably don't apply if you're one person. There's things in Unity that out of the gate are going to be easier than Unreal. Like, a lot of the decisions in this game were made around Unreal, right? Like, it's the way the levels stream in and out, the way that's set up, the way the UI will inevitably be, to rely on UMG as little as possible. Like, the certain things are designed to be easier to make in Unreal. Hey, Wood Under, what's up, man? That is what sequels are for. I have like 10 more games I'm going to make after this one that build on this. If I ever finish this game. Which I may never finish this game. So we should probably shut the hell up and work, huh? How intensive is your planning, analysis, and testing? I'm currently studying informatics, and the lessons, software engineering, we have 11 pages of rules on how to analyze, plan, design, implement, test, and document the project. If I would follow those, it would literally take most of the time not implementing anything and just writing some other stuff. Sounds like you already know what you're... Sounds like you can already smell bullshit. Hey, Cribin, what's up, man? So there's a difference in something you're... At the Molasses Flood, I have business partners and ostensibly employees, right? What we make there has to be market viable. We, of course, do competitive analysis. We look at what else is in the marketplace that's similar to what we're about to make. We have many ideas, obviously. We nix the ones that we think are higher risk. Absolutely. A lot of that isn't something you read. It's kind of like a gut decision. A lot of it comes down to, I've made something similar to this before, I roughly know how long it'll take, I'm about this confident that we can pull this off. You think about things more like that. I think the more fun stuff happens when you have time to play. Like, when I think of the times in my career when I was doing my best work, it was usually when, honestly, probably irrational. It was times when you were completely funded and they couldn't pull the funding, and so you could just do whatever the hell you wanted. And then you could just wildly scrap things, and you didn't have to, like, answer to anybody. Those were the best times. Does anyone just have one idea? Sorry, true points, but does anybody just have one idea? Before I started this, I had several ideas. Most of them definitely within one area, but a few differ, including a walking simulator. I cut the walking simulator mainly because to make it quality I would be happy with, I would need to invest a significant amount of time in the money and the art. I chose the current one because I believe it would pay off if I deliver on the plan set out. And a lot of the systems, if done well, I could reuse for future projects. That sounds like you figured it out, man. That's another thing. I keep saying this and I never do it. You should... It's a shame that we make games and then we throw away literally everything with the game, and we start from scratch again with the next game, and everybody does this, including us, at the Molasses Flood. We never reuse anything. I actually really respect something they do at Spryfox is they make a lot of their games with the same Alphabear content. So they have multiple games that kind of look similar, because they're like, this is our art style, it looks good, we're going to make multiple games with this art. And it works pretty well. And I think you should Building off of an existing code base, or building on an existing idea is a good idea, even if it's not for a sequel, even if it's for something totally different. You can definitely see tons of examples of that being the right thing to do, like everywhere. Yeah, Steve Lee went under. There was a couple Steves. Steve Lee or Steve Allen? Steve Lee's working with Ken again over at Ghost Story, if I recall. Groovy. Yeah. Yeah. Steve's cool. I dig it. I'll probably see him at GDC. Shit, he's not local, right? He's working remotely from the UK now? Yeah, no comment on that one. Went under. Oh, what's he working on now? Out in London. I'm asking you. Tell me what Steve's doing while I work. You do the legwork. I'm just curious. We're just gonna bore the shit out of everybody else in the chat. That's our new thing. Alright, what was I doing before I fucking lost my mind? Oh yeah, that was not working. That entire experiment. I should just stop. It's not a good idea. But let's try one more thing. Not you. What's great ideas? Tick. Get this. Well, this is less than, I don't know. Let's give it 4 seconds. it's just gonna go forever. Oh, this is that. Every tick, add the tick delta until you hit 4 seconds. Then just stop, I guess. Yeah, that should work. I don't need this anymore either. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. That's super wrong, actually. We're getting towards what I wanted. It's choppy as shit. I am moving thousands of actors. I want that to start. Oh god, even if this is good, I'm doing it the wrong way. Like, no question. I'm not convinced it's that good. Kind of want this idea that the level turns and faces you, and then when you go back, it turns away from you. But there's several things that are bad about that too. Because, like, then I would have to make this backdrop look better, whereas honestly, this backdrop is more fun. Even though I feel like you're on a stage and this is the direction of the stage. Maybe I should make that different though. Shit, I didn't consider this. What if this is the back? What if the audience is out here? What if this whole thing is backstage? Ooh, shit, I like that more. Doesn't fit, though. Doesn't fit the narrative at all. These are the smaller stages, that's the main stage. Main stage faces this way. Alright, let me see what's going on in the chat. Thanks, Weez. I appreciate it, man. Devs, oh, sorry, Beardless Death. Really, no devs reuse code, not even inventory systems, etc. I thought they'd be a way to cut down on time and money, or even taking an old system and make some changes to make it fit with the new project. I mean, sometimes you do. It doesn't happen as often as you should, and you'd be surprised a lot of people, myself included, tend to be like, well, that was done and we could do it so much better, scrap everything. And that happens so often. I am so guilty of that. The things you tend to move from project to project tend to be the things that you use, like your personal tools. I think of good examples. I mean, I've seen projects where they start a sequel with like, and they're like, well, it's time to upgrade to UE4 from UE3. And I'm like, whoa, dude, you already have this built up tech, just go with it. Sequels tend to reuse more. I will say that. That's true. There's a problem with shared tech, too, that if you force multiple teams to use some central shared tech, you tend to cause a lot of drama and strife because tech tends to be, especially tools, tend to be very specific to a project. And this depends entirely on the size of your team. Like, this is more common in larger studios. For instance, 2K will come up with, it's way worse if they're external, by the way. So, like, if 2K comes to you and they're like, hey, we've got some central animation system we're rolling out, we want all of our studios to use it so that we can, like, have a mind share. Your instinct is like, no, absolutely not. We don't want to do that. We are already in the process of making the game with our own tech. Fuck off. Why are you shoving this down our throat? Like, you immediately jump to hostility. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There's a lot of things in tech art that we should definitely be sharing across multiple studios, and we don't. It's not like rigging a humanoid is so fucking different at one studio versus another. It really isn't. The human being is a solved problem. It's just not that hard. Especially if you have two studios using the same engine. Sharing Maya tools should be a no-brainer, but no studio does that ever. Glad you like it, Krubin. Sorry. That's how I read it. Use the small glowy spots for the audience to look like people holding up their phones. No, they're not the audience. But what if they steal our secrets that we already know about? I don't find people aren't that secretive. People seem secretive if you're not a game developer, because every day you wake up and you hear the story about the guy that got fired because he accidentally leaked something on his LinkedIn. So if they don't know you, if you're like a stranger, nobody's gonna tell you shit. But as soon as I've always found other game developers to be insanely helpful. Like, we have various events called Friend DA where we just get together and break our NDAs and talk about what we're doing and exactly how we set up our animation systems, or how we do, or just share tools, like, all the time. That's common. Game developers love showing off with each other and tend to be extremely passionate and very opinionated. And so this lie that everybody's very secretive, it's something you feel if you're not. I bet you probably feel a lot more if you're indie, because you're not part of, like, there's a brand recognition. If you go to GDC and you're like, hey, I work on Horizon Zero Dawn with Mike. Do you know Mike? Yeah, I know Mike. Shit, Mike and I worked together back in the day. Yo, check out what I'm working on. You can get that if you're in AAA, but the second you leave and you're at some, like, who the fuck has heard of the molasses flood, you lose that. The only reason I still have it is because I'm pushy and I'm part of the animation boot camp. But it's a lot harder if you're indie to kind of get into those talks. Which is why, if you're indie, you should form your own little friend DA. There's no reason people can't help each other out. There's no reason we can't build our own little communities. It's more fun this way. GDC is like an organized event for sharing ideas and workflows, so the industry encourages it in a lot of ways. The bigger companies officially wants people to keep quiet, though. Yeah. Friendly, man. There are positives to being indie. There's a lot of positives. Sitting at home on a Monday, working on a totally different game that's just mine. There's no... I mean, I own the company. It doesn't matter. Everything I do is stuff I do. But, like... What's a better example? I work from home Wednesdays and Fridays. My schedule is super flexible. There's definitely advantages to that. It's really stressful. I will say there's something nice about not worrying about I'll say ignorance is bliss, but like not having to worry about you have this feeling like, okay, we may not be a company in 3 months. Always. That takes a bit of getting used to. Or just there's a stress that comes with it that you just get, like, at some point you get over it, but it takes a while to get over it. Oh yeah, Quick Flint. I know when they were making the new Xbox, they had they had like, I don't know if this is a rumor, if it was true, but they definitely had zebra print on the Xbox, but the zebra print was different apparently for each. I don't like every zebra print was different. So if a picture ever leaked of the new Xbox, the Xbox One, they would know who leaked it. They could just look at the zebra print and figure it out. I thought that was clever, if true. I don't know. That might have been a rumor. There's some kind of print on it, yeah. What do you mean? Like a zebra, Wheeze. Like the texture of a zebra's skin. Do you know what a zebra is? I mean, there's no zebras in America either, but I know what they are, man. Get with it, Wheeze. I'm always sad when I see the price for a ticket and the location for such conferences. No shit. They are super expensive. I'm excited about what Mike John Bluth is doing. But the animators are trying to start up a second conference slowly. We've been picking at it for a couple of years. Like we're doing another Animex at GDC this year. We're talking about getting sponsorship and trying for like a small animation focused conference that will be free, streamed online and such. It is expensive, and it's not fair. It's bullshit. Oh shit, sorry. I missed some stuff. With your background in animation, was the blueprint system a major deciding factor on your choice to use UE4? I chose it for my first major solo project because I was able to work with it better than standard code. Yeah, I've been using blueprints since UE4 came out. Before that I was using Kismet, so it's just keeping rolling with what I know. Yes, that is why. A quote from a friend of mine who has his own indie studio and a lot of AAA XP. When you're employed, you notice politics within a company. When you're co-owning a studio... Sorry, when you're co-owning... yeah, sorry, I spelled it. Of a studio, you are the politician. Pros and cons to both, of course, but I found this remark interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of responsibility to it. You feel the responsibility more acutely when you're indie, and you have like how do I put it? Like I manage the interns, and I've had some juniors work for me, but that's not really. I don't know. I've never really been like a lead at a studio, so I don't know how it would compare. I don't know. It comes with its own challenges. They're similar. It's stressful either way. Not really sure what the question is I'm answering there. I'm just saying words now. What, Oh, Jesus. Cool. As a Yukine, I understand that pain. Oh, yeah. They have stuff in the UK, Beardless, don't they? I feel like they do. That's cool. Usually my eyes correct those things, but I'm just being lazy today, apparently. I got a late start and we went on a path that's bad, so I think I'll hang out for a little bit more and then I'll go get some lunch and then we'll nix this stupid experiment and try something cool. Finish the goddamn stage and stop being, silly. I think I'll probably only take a little bit for lunch because I don't have to go to the gym or anything today, so I'll probably be back in like an hour-ish. I don't think they have any major developer-centric events in the UK. Really? Okay. I think I asked at one point because I wanted to... Looks like there's something going on in Croatia. It's closer than LA, or San Francisco. Yeah, I don't know what developer events you have in the UK. I do not live there. I am gonna nix everything we did. Make sure I'm not muddying up my stuff. This idea will percolate and become something, I believe. Just not today. I just don't like it. Wait, don't delete that though. Give it 4+ years, and if all is well, I hope to move to Canada. Yeah. Freezing up there. I wouldn't. Sounds like hell. Montreal's real cool. In the summer. Edmonton looks like a terrible place to live. I don't know why anybody would do that to themselves, but I know a lot of people that do. Vancouver's alright. There, I've summed up Canada for you. No other part of Canada actually exists. All the untamed wilderness, fuck that shit. Nah, it's those 3 places, and that's all you need to know about them. You live in Edmonton, Woodunder? Oh god. You're at BioWare? Do they have anything there other than BioWare? And snow? Is that basically all that place is? That's my understanding. Yeah. Cool. Shit, I'm a huge fan. You're working on stuff? You wanna break NDA? Are you gonna be at JDC? Would you like to friend DA? Woodunder? I wanna see what you're doing up there. Edmonton's the good team. Not that any team was the bad team. Obviously. No comment. I mean, I die at 25 degrees Celsius in the UK. That's basically moon units to me. I have no idea what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bit of a trek from Edmonton all the way to San Francisco. I don't blame you. Alright. I'm gonna go freedom units. Christ. You know, I've been too busy to check Twitter. I haven't checked Twitter in days. I know nothing about what's going on in politics, and it's actually a really good feeling. It turns out that doesn't really affect you day to day. I can still buy milk. Everything is going. Life is pretty good. Alright, yeah, I should eat. That's what I do. I'm gonna go now. I will be back at some point for more of whatever this is. Working, apparently. Potentially. Not really, but you know. Thanks for hanging out, guys.